Wanted to welcome you today to our webinar for this month. We're really excited for this webinar. This has been a product and a webinar that has been a long time coming. Our engineers spent a lot of time on it. We've been selling it now for about 2 months and have had a lot of success. We wanted to wait to do the webinar until we'd gotten some of these out there, gotten them tested, really gone through the process. And so far, things have been really good, so we're excited to show you the product. The product that we're going to be talking about today is called the Rain XRE-100 and the TX100, and we'll explain the difference. The cool thing about this product, about the Rain line of products, is that both of these integrate with each other, can be paired and set up in the field, so they do not come to the factory a certain way. You're going to get them and can simply pair them with dip switches. We will go through all of that. Like all of our webinars, we have Alex at the helm. He is monitoring the questions, so if you have any questions, type them in. I think Livestream asks you to set up an account or something to ask questions. Is that true, Alex?
I believe so.
He thinks so. If it does, it's not a big deal. It takes about 2 seconds. But please ask any questions you have or call after the webinar and ask your sales rep. I'll stop whenever we get a question. Alex will read it to me and I'll do my best to answer. If I don't know, like I always say, I will just totally lie to you because that's what we want to do. Lie to get more sales. That's our motto here at Transmitter Solutions. No, if we don't know the answer, we will find it for you and get back to you as fast as possible. So please call or ask any questions here on the live stream. Today's going to be pretty short. The product is extremely simple. That's what it was built for, simplicity and reliability. So it's a simple product, but it's going to fit a big need in the market, which we're excited for. So we're going to probably take 20 minutes today. But in that 20 minutes, we're going to give you a lot of information on how the Rain TX100 and XRE-100 works and the type of applications that they can be used for. So let's go ahead and jump over to the screen here so I can show you the manuals that we have. Again, everything that we show in our webinars is from our website, transmittersolutions.com. And then if you go under our products here, you can come down to Rain, which is going to be down here. I feel like I passed it. Okay, hold on. This is a touch screen, so sometimes it acts a little wacky. So let me use the mouse here. You'll go to Rain, and then you'll see that in the Rain section we have a video that you can watch. This is a quick teaser video. We also have some videos showing the range that we've done. So you can see real-life applications where we've driven in the car and tested the range, which is extremely far, which we'll talk about. But then you can click on the Rain Relay Extender. You can watch the video, or you can go to Downloads and Manual. So I'm going to get the manual for the Rain Relay Extender, and then I'm also going to get the manual for the TX100 because we're going to be talking about both of those. So before we show you up there on the board how this works, let me explain. First, let's start with the XRE-100. The Rain XRE-100 was built to be a dry contact relay extender. What that means is that if you have a relay output on one end, or a relay input on one end, and you need to output that relay, let's say your wires from your telephone entry to your gate operator have gone bad. If you have a door that needs to have a door position sensor, but you don't have the ability to run door position sensor wire back to the access control panel. These are all applications that you can use the Rain XRE-100 for. The way this works is whatever happens on the relay input is going to be mimicked on the other end of the Rain on the output, the relay output. So if the relay input is latched, the relay output will be latched. If the relay input is held for 10 seconds, the relay output will be held for 10 seconds. And so that's what this product has been designed for. There are tons of applications where wire has gone bad, you can't get wire to the spot, or whatever it may be. And so what we've done is designed this product to fit that need, and the range is unreal. We're getting half a mile through buildings, landscape, concrete, obstructions. Line of sight, we're getting 30 to 40 miles. It really is a really good product. We also wanted to make sure that we really hit on things that installers, that we hear all the time from installers. Some of the things are, it's too small, it's hard to get wires into. So we made it bigger, not too big, so that it can be easily wired. The terminals are too hard to use. This is not for the Rain, these are just for products that we hear on tech support from customers. So we made the terminals removable and reversible, so you can use them in any way. And then we've also added an antenna to our wireless products because the antenna really gives you that extra distance that you may need. You can see the antenna sticking out there, and when I demo how this works up on the board, you'll see it. But we've added the antenna for more increased range and reliability. So if I come down here through the manual, this manual is extremely comprehensive. It's going to give you a simple, quick, easy installation process to go through. The first thing that I will mention is that this product is 12 or 24 volt power, 12 through, I should say, but we need at least 1 amp. You have to have at least 1 amp per XRE-100. Okay? If you are starving it for power, you are not going to get the range and performance out of the unit that we tout you'll get. You need to make sure you're using the proper power of 1 amp. And then we have, you can see color coordinated terminals for easy technical support and easy installation. So we have red for your main power input, orange for your battery backup. We do have battery backup built into this. Then if we scroll down here a little bit farther, you can see on this page we have a ton of LEDs. The reason for that is it helps with technical support. So we wanted to be able to support you the best that we could. We don't want you to be frustrated out there in the field, so we color coordinated the terminals and put in a whole bunch of LEDs so that when you call technical support, they can help diagnose and resolve the issue faster. Again, these things seem small, but they do make a difference when you're out in the field. Yellow is the relay input. Blue is the relay output. This unit has 2 relay inputs and 2 relay outputs, so you can do 2 gates, 2 doors, 2 access points, whatever it is. And then we also have a monitored, which you'll see here, an alert and monitored relay. So you can be alerted if something has gone wrong, if the device has lost communication, if a wire's been cut, if power's been lost. You're alerted for all of these things, and we actually have a dedicated relay built onto the board that will alert you with an input on one end and an output on the other end, so you can sound a buzzer, trigger a light, whatever it may be. We have an alert relay to let you know that something is not right, and you can decide how you want to use that. Again, we also have dip switch. We have 6 dip switches on the board. These dip switches are used for different things when you're using an XRE to an XRE, or when you're using a TX, which is the transmitter, to an XRE, which would then act as a receiver. Some of these you can see is that this unit can be paired in the field. We send these out when you call in an order. We don't send you, when you order a TX100, that is not a kit. You can call in and say, hey, sales rep, I need 2 TX100s. 2 TX100s would equal a kit. And I can tell you we are the least expensive option on the market. We have really priced this at a really aggressive price point to help you out, to help you win more jobs and make it easier, especially if you have damaged or non-existent wire. So all you have to do, and I'll show you this when we get over there, is turn on dip switch 1 on both units, and then we have a program test button, which if you look down, you can see it's green number 3. A program test button in all of the XREs. You push that button. You only have to push that button on one of the XREs, not both, because most of the time it's going to be you out there by yourself and you can't be running back and forth. So you turn on dip switch 1 on both units, you press the program or test button, program/test button on either of the units. They automatically sync. You turn off the dip switches and you're ready to rock. Now they're communicating. So the good thing about this is if you have one unit go bad in the field, you don't have to buy a whole new kit. You can buy one XRE, keep the XRE that works in the field, install the new one, turn both dip switches on for dip switch 1, press the program test button, and you're all set to go again. And it saves you a lot of money and a lot of time out in the field. So we've really tried to build this to the best of our ability and to help you as the installer. Input 3 is where you can choose if you want the input to be supervised, if you want that to be on, and if you're going to have it output. So that means you're going to be using the supervised input. And then input 4 is where you can actually trigger a beacon. So you could do like a flashing light, meaning the relay will pulse every 1 second on, 1 second off, 1 second on, 1 second off. So you can trigger a light or a buzzer or something like that. So again, just some more functionality that we've given you as the installer. So this is how this works. I mean, this is just a quick look at it. But let's go ahead and let's jump over to the unit so I can give you a little bit more a look at what it does real life. So you can see up here on the board, we have 2 XRE-100s. Again, if you were to order this, you would say, I need 2 XRE-100s, and this is going to get you this. okay? Again, we never talk price on these products on the webinars, but they are extremely inexpensive, especially for what you get and the need that they fill. So we've got, right now, all I have wired in is power. Again, red is power, orange is battery backup. I'm not using the battery backup. You can see I've got my program test button here on both units. And you can see I have 4 orange LEDs. If you have 4 orange LEDs with the run LED, and it says it on the board, you just can't see it, flashing, that means that everything should be working on the XRE. So if you come to a job where they're complaining, you look on the board, you see I've got 1, 2, 3 orange LEDs, 3 orange LEDs. That means all the power on the unit is good. And then I've got 1 orange LED, which means the microprocessor is working. That's what we want. That means right now things seem to be good. The system, the hardware seems to be good. You can see you have your 6 dip switches here. All of mine are currently off, which is normal working mode for the XRE-100 setup, XRE to XRE. I've got my yellow for inputs, my black is my alert relay, and my blue is my outputs. So again, I have 2 relay inputs, 2 relay outputs, and then an alert relay. Okay? So you would wire your input, yellow, to whatever you're going into, okay, whatever is triggering. So if I have an access, if I want to do a door position sensor, I would wire my yellow terminal, the left or the right side, to my access control panel, door position or door monitor input. I would then wire my blue corresponding, either 1 or 2. Again, they just correspond this to this, this to this. I would wire that output to whatever I'm triggering, the door position sensor or the gate operator. When I get an input here from the brains, whatever I'm connected to, access control, telephone entry, gate operator, I'm going to output to here. And if this holds, this will hold. When this releases, this will release. Now, another function that we have built into both of these devices is redundancy. We want to make sure that if there is ever a wireless signal that is missed, we all know wireless is not 100% bulletproof. This is pretty close. I'm really confident in saying this is about as close to bulletproof as you can get for wireless technology. You'll notice, if you've been paying attention to my lights, I've got here run light, status light, transmit light, and receive light. It just did it, but my finger was covering it. The transmit flash is red, and the receive flash is green. We have built in a redundancy where each XRE checks in with the other every 15 seconds. So let's talk real-life scenarios, what that means. If you have a telephone entry where the wire has gone bad under the ground from the telephone entry relay output to the gate operator, I'm going to wire my yellow to my telephone entry relay output into my yellow, and I'm going to wire my blue into my gate operator or maglock or strike, whatever that is doing. Let's say someone has a latch code, latch pin. They come up, type in the latch pin, 1, 2, 3, 4. The latch pin holds the relay. For some unknown reason, this and this were not communicating, and they miss that send, okay? So the gate has not latched open. The gate hasn't even moved. Well, at the most 15 seconds, that will automatically fix itself, and it will automatically communicate and go, hey, I'm supposed to be latched. That gate will open up and latch open, and then it rechecks every 15 seconds to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. Am I still supposed to be latched? Yes. Am I still supposed to be latched? Yes. That is a lot of confidence in the product for you as the installer, knowing that it's automatically checking each unit every 15 seconds to make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So again, there are a lot of applications for this. Anything that needs to trigger a dry contact relay output, and again, we have 2 inputs, 2 outputs, and a relay or alert output and input, okay? Any questions on this? That's basically it for the XRE-100. You'll see, and please ask me any questions, I've got a jumper here so we can mimic what's going on. So pay attention to our lights. If I jumper across my input, and this jumper's a little bit wonky here, I'm going to jumper to mimic an input, and you can see my green light. I'm trying to hold this on. My green light, meaning the relay output, is latched. As soon as I release it, it's going to turn off. You can see that green light's gone away. And then you can see the same thing here. See my relay 2 is lit up, and that will turn off. Okay? That's exactly how it works. We're just mimicking it with our jumper. Any questions on that? And again, you have a whole bunch of dip switches that you can change. So let's say this unit went bad. All I have to do is buy a new unit, turn dip switch 1 on, turn dip switch 1 on, press the program test button, excuse me, and you can see that I get my lights, okay, which means transmit and receive. You can see it on both units. Do it again. It received and it transmitted back. It transmitted and it received back. So that's also a test you can do if you're out in the field by yourself. You don't have to sit there and jumper every one of these to make sure they're communicating, have someone back on the other end, did it work? All you have to do is once these are both powered up, no matter where it is, if you press program test, you can say, okay, it transmitted and it received. Transmitted and it received. Transmitted and it received. That means it's working. If you get a red transmit and a green, green means saw you. This unit saw you and it transmitted back. You can see with both units, okay? Transmit and receive. Transmit and receive. Okay, so you don't have to have two guys out in the field to test your range on these. You press that button. If you get red, green, perfect, you're working. Any questions on that? Alex, do we have any questions?
No.
Okay, now let's jump to this. I'm really, really, really excited about the TX100. The TX100 is our extreme range handheld transmitter, okay? Many of you will have noticed the housing. We've used the housing, the Emperor housing for this with a different color button. The forest green means that this is the Rain TX100, okay? The great thing about this, I'm just going to pop it open here real quick. Couple good things that we've really tried to design this with you in mind. It is a 9-volt rechargeable battery. Okay, so I'm going to try to show this to you. I'm going to have to look at my screen over here. Back up a little bit. You can see right there. That is a mini USB port. So you can plug in your cell phone adapter or whatever to this, and it recharges that battery inside. So you never have to change the battery. Never. Years. Okay? But all you have to do is plug this in, and this remote is going to recharge that battery. The reason for that is because we're using such high power to push this wireless signal, this is going to get, again, about half a mile, okay, a quarter of a mile through obstructions with this transmitter. And the reason we're able to get that is because the wireless technology that we use, but also the power output. And so a standard battery just won't do the trick. The battery would die pretty quick. So what we've done is put a nice rechargeable battery in there, and then we said, hey, just plug it in and recharge that battery. What we've also done is given you a potentiometer. So this allows you to turn this, and it's easier if you have a screwdriver. And this will go all the way to the left, see my arrow, or all the way to the right. All the way to the right is max power. Max power means this is pushing as far as it'll go. You're going to get shorter battery life, but it's really not that big of a problem because you can just recharge it. You can even keep it plugged in if you don't want to take the charger on and off. All the way to the left is lowest power. Again, it's still going to get more range than anything out there, but the battery will last longer. It comes out of the box right in the middle. Okay? So you have a ton of functionality with this transmitter. I'm going to keep it right in the middle. And now what will happen is rather than having an XRE to an XRE, you will purchase this as just a transmitter to receiver, a standalone transmitter to receiver. I'll pop that back on. Okay. And this now would be this kit right here. The TX100 to the XRE-100. So you can order an XRE-100 and a TX100. The same XRE-100 works as the relay extender, but if you don't need the relay extender, you just buy the XRE-100 and the TX100, and you would change a few dip switches. Okay? So let's go ahead and jump over to the manual for this so you can see how to configure the dip switches, because this receiver can do a lot of stuff with that transmitter. Come over here to our computer. We'll go to the TX100 manual. Again, this is all on our website, so it's really easy to find. I'm going to scroll down past all of this information here. You can see, again, same power same power as the XRE. You need at least 1 amp, 12 to 24 volts. You can see we've highlighted your 3 dip switches. Dip switch number 1 inside the transmitter is used for learn mode, and I will show you that. Then you have your potentiometer, which is for max power all the way down to least amount of power, depending on how much you need, depending on the application. And then you have a mini USB, micro USB port for recharging the transmitter, so you don't ever have to worry about changing the batteries. Okay? Again, just a quick look, this is the XRE, so what we've just learned applies to this. You've got your main power input, which is red, your battery power, which is orange. And then for this application, all you're really going to be using is the outputs, okay, the blue. You won't need the inputs because you're not extending anything, you're just triggering an output from the transmitter. Again, you have your same LED indicators letting you know what's going on. We're going to use our blue relay outputs. That's what will trigger our gate or our door or whatever it may be. But you'll notice in section 7, the dip switch settings is a little bit more detailed for the TX100 to XRE-100. You can see that pairing mode is still dip switch 1 on, and I'll show you that. Instead of having dip switch 2 off though, dip switch 2 off is XRE mode. We want XRE to TX100 mode, so we're going to turn dip switch 2 on. And then you have a whole bunch of things that you can do with this. You can do a momentary relay or a latching relay. You can do a momentary on relay 1 and a latching on relay 2. You can program unlimited amounts of TX100s into the XRE-100, which is really cool. And you just have a ton of functionality with this. We got requests for momentary and latching, which we're able to meet. One transmitter opens one relay, one transmitter opens the other relay. All of that can be done by switching the dip switches. I'm not going to take you through all of these because I don't think we need to waste your time showing you how every single feature works, but you can see the features. Momentary or latching, triggering with the momentary with one transmitter and the latching with the second transmitter, how to pair them, how to program them. It's all extremely easy, and this product really does have a ton of functionality. So you can see we spell out under the mode switches the way everything works. Single TX100 to dual relay mode. Assigns a group of TX100s relay 1 and relay 2. If dip switch 6 is on, relays 1 and 2 can be sent momentary or latching with dip switch 5. So we break it all down for you, try to make it as simple as possible so you're not out there wasting a lot of time on the job. Okay? So let's go ahead and go through this, and I'll show you how this works. Let's check our dip switches again here. So what we're going to do when we get over there is we're going to turn on pairing mode, which will be dip switch 1. We're going to turn on dip switch 2, which puts us in XRE to TX mode, and that dip switch is just going to stay on. And then we're going to turn everything else off. Okay? So let's go ahead and jump over there, and you'll be able to see how this works. Do we have any questions right now, Alex? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and use our XRE-100 that's on the right. Again, keep in mind, we've just used this setup for the TX100, and now you say, hey, I want to use it, or for the XRE-100, but now I want to use it for the TX100. So I'm going to pop this open again. I'm going to turn on dip switch 1, which is the bottom one here. I'm going to turn on dip switch 1 and dip switch 2 because we're in TX100 mode. I'm going to press my button. Okay? You can see my transmit receive light. I'm going to turn off pairing mode on both the transmitter and the receiver. And you can see now that my relay is latching. Okay? And I could do the same. I could make it momentary. I've decided to make it latching. And you're seeing the same lights here. So when you're diagnosing, you can get your run lights, but you're getting your transmit receive light. Another really cool feature about this is, the reason we've built this is the distance. There could be trees, concrete, something in the way. So what we've done is you'll see the LED light here. If I press the button, red means transmit and green means received. I'm not sure you can see that. I'm holding it pretty low. Okay? Red transmit, green receive. Red transmit, green receive. That means if you're not right next to what you're opening, maybe it's pretty far down the driveway or whatever the application may be, it's a door of some sort, you can look at this, red transmit, green receive, and know that the relay output on the XRE-100 triggered. It's just, again, a nice feature so that you can know it's blinking, telling me my battery is low right now, which is also nice. So it's going to give you an indication to let you know, hey, this is low, you need to plug it in and charge this thing, okay? But again, red transmit, green receive, red transmit, green receive, and if I'm not getting the range I want, can crank that up, okay? So everything is very visual. We wanted to make it as simple as possible for the installer. Again, the reason that we have built the Rain products, and these are the first of many Rain products that are coming out, is because wireless technology historically has not been reliable. We want to change that mindset. Wireless technology historically has not gone very far. We are changing that mindset. The distance on these will blow your mind. Again, we have a video on our YouTube channel showing the range that we get with the handheld transmitter. And I think we have one of the XRE-100. If we don't, we'll make one. But this is a really reliable wireless product at a great, great cost. So we're glad that you could come today. Do we have any questions? Again, I told you to be quick. I think we're about 20 minutes on the dot. So do we have any questions come through, Alex? Okay. Please let us know any questions you have. We'll stick around here. We'll answer the questions that you might have. Call your sales rep for pricing information. We've got these on the shelf. So thank you again for your time. We're grateful that you spent the limited time that you have. We know you're busy to watch these. I promise you this product's going to help you in a lot of applications. So thank you.